Hey guys, and welcome back to another video in my GCSE Python EDEXCEL Paper 2 coding tutorial. Today we will be talking about Turtle, which is the graphics library, main graphics library for Python. So as you want to start off making a new file, saving it somewhere. And so how you get Turtle, you can get the Turtle libraries in a similar way to the other libraries I've talked about. You just say import Turtle, and now you have the Turtle library. And so there's a few things you need to set up before you start. So first of all, you want to say something like, in example, something like my screen equal to, and then you want to just say turtle dot screen. And so what this says is giving back a turtle screen, which you'll understand what is later. And so there's a couple other things to do with the screen. You will want to say, oh, this would probably be my window actually. But then you can take this and use this in a couple other commands, so such as mywindow.setup, and so this sets the size of the turtle window that will appear. You normally have something like this, so let's just call this screen for now. You'll have something like width equals 800, and that's all caps, because that's a constant, and then height equals 400, something like this. They'll give it to you in an exam, and then in screen.setup you'll put the width and the height. So what screen.setup does is it sets how big the actual window, so like this, like it will be the certain size of the window that pops up. And so all I'm doing is I'm putting these into constants and putting them here. The reason I'm doing this rather than just putting them straight in is because in exam they normally like to do this, so just have that in mind. So what this will do is, you can see you've opened this window that says Python Turtle Graphics at the top, and that's 800 by 400 as you can see. So that's effectively how you set up the turtle window. There is also something else to, a couple other things to think about with turtle.screen size. So this is different to turtle.setup, because this is the size of the actual like canvas the turtle can draw on, rather than the size of the window. So the canvas the turtle can draw on is different here to the window. But you'll probably normally just use setup. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So just remember setup, but if screen size comes up, screen size is the canvas the turtle can draw on, that's how big it is. So there's another thing that I feel like is unlikely to come up as well, which is turtle.mode. And you put something there. So there's two modes it can be, which is standard or logo. It's defaultly in standards. In standard modes, it initially points to the right and angles are counterclockwise. But if it's in logo mode, so I've said turtle.mode logo, then it initially points north, like up, and angles are clockwise. So I've never really seen this, but just once again, keep in mind, in standard modes, it starts pointing to the right and angles are anti-clockwise, and in logo mode it starts pointing up and angles are clockwise. So moving on to the interesting bits. First of all, we want to initialize a turtle. So to initialize the turtle, we want to say something like my turtle. They normally call it my turtle in it, but obviously this is effectively just a variable that stores whatever thing you're putting in here. And same with my turtle, so you just say turtle, all lowercase, like the library, then you say capital T, turtle, bracket, bracket. So what this does is this initializes a turtle, and so now this my turtle has a turtle in it. And what is a turtle? It's the actual thing that like does the drawing. It's like your pen, but it's a turtle. So now you've got this turtle, you can make it move around a bit. So you can say my turtle dot forwards, and then how much you want it to move forward in steps. So let's say you want it to move forward 10, so what would happen? See, we've got a little turtle here, let's just move forward 10 steps. 10 steps isn't very much, so if we set it to like 1,000 or something, you can actually see it go across. And just draw a fun little line. And then complementary to forward, there is turtle.back, which just moves the turtle away from where it's pointing. Yeah, so forwards moves it towards where it's pointing, and back moves it away from where it's pointing. So you can see with this turtle, it was quite quick, but it kind of went. Now it goes forward this much. So you can see it goes forward 500 and then back 100 on itself. So now we've got complementary to these two. We've got my turtle dot right, and then so this is just turn the turtle this many degrees to the right, so that's in degrees. So you can say 90 to turn it that much, and then once again my turtle dot left just does it the opposite way. So now I've put all these in, forward 500, turn right 90 degrees, go back 100, and then turn left 90 degrees. We end up with something that looks like a bit like this, as you can see. So what it's done here is it's gone forwards, it's turned right, it's gone, no, it's turned right, like that, if you see my mouse, and it's gone back 100, and then it's turned like that, and so now it's pointing this way. So now there's two other things you might want, which is my turtle dot hide turtle, and obviously my turtle dot show turtle. So what these do is, all it does is just, the lines they draw you can still see, there's something to make them not be seeable. But the actual arrow thing itself is invisible. You can see that. And so there's one last bit of this kind of section, which is turtle dot speed. So you can either set this with words or numbers. You can kind of pick either, it doesn't matter. But if you want to be more precise, use numbers. If you use numbers 1 to 10, and 0 is the fastest one. So let me just quickly give a demo of that. So as you can see here, I've just put some speed in there. So it starts off at 10 and ends up at 0. So as you can see, oh, that was quite fast. Let's just put this down to 6. Oh. So let's just start this one off at 1, this one at 5, and that one at 0. So as you can see, it starts off quite slow, goes faster. Oh, and you didn't really get to see this one. But, so the higher the number is, the faster it is, from 1 to 10. And also, if you put 0 in, it's the fastest. Alternatively, if you don't like numbers, you can literally just say normal speed, slow for slow, slowest for slowest, and fast for fast, and fastest for fastest. And those are somewhere between the number values, and when you put words in, they should be in quotes. But obviously, if you want to be more precise, you're going to have to use the numbers. But it's just numbers 1 to 10 or words. So there's a couple to do with like positioning of the turtle. So what I can do, if I just put some code in here, I can say my turtle dot home. And so what this does is it moves it to the canvas origin, so 0, 0, right in the middle. So with the home here, it should look like something like this. So, let's just get rid of this height turtle quickly to make it less confusing. So what it does, if you follow, it goes forward 500, turns right, goes back to 0, 0, which is where it started, and then goes back 100. So if you look, yeah, so you saw it went along a bit, and then it kind of went back, and then went back 100 because of that. So now there's 2 more things you can do here. You can do my turtle dot set heading, and then a number in degrees, and that sets the orientation. So I can just set the orientation I need. So rather than turning relative to the turtle, it just sets it to that orientation. And you can also do set position, and then that's a set of coordinates. So that's so if I want to set them to hundreds, I can just do that. So you went there, it went to 100. And by the way, the reason it kind of going a bit slow going there is because I've put it on the slow setting. If it was faster, it would move there faster. And so the final one of these kind of just kind of teleporting around is reset, which does this. So what just happened there is when it ran the reset bit, here, it said clear the whole canvas, so all the lines have been drawn, get rid of them, send the turtle to the origin, and reset all variables to default values. So like orientation, that sort of thing. So Now, if I don't want the turtle to be on constantly, so I can do something like this, where I say turtle dot pen up. And why don't I just move this here? And so what this does is this just means the turtle can move around without actually drawing. Oh, whoopsie daisy. I keep writing turtle, not my turtle in. And so yeah, so it moved there, but without drawing, and then did the drawing there. So it's pen up to stop drawing, so it will just move without actually, quote unquote, having the pen down and actually drawing a line. And then pen up. And then pen down, it will start drawing lines. So as default, pen down, then you say pen up if you want to stop doing that. Something else you can do is pen size, where you put in the radius, or you put in the size of the pen. So if I set it to 10, it'll have quite a thick pen there. And then you can also do, and so this is just the width of the pen, so you can set it to anything, and then you can also do pen color, ill American spelling, but like their choice. You can either set that to just a word like red, or you can set it to a hex value or RGB value. So for instance, if I set it to hash 351 A8B, which is a hex value, you can see it's actually drawn it in a nice purple. And then I can also set it as a, so yes, this is a hex value. So that's all of the things in this section. Yes, there's quite a lot of colours. There'll be a link in the description to the Python programming language subset document, which I had an explanation of that I talked about in my last video. It's really useful. That's got a list of all the colours. Some of them are a bit funky. I'm looking at them right now. Salmon, Peru, sienna, orchids. I don't know. You'll probably only. I'm not sure if you ever need colours even in your exam, but just know if you need colours, you just put the name of the colour in. And so what you can also do is kind of fill shapes. So let's just get rid of all this quickly. And let's draw a triangle. So what we can just do here is say my turtle dot forwards 100, my turtle dot right, and then so we don't have to actually work it out ourselves, we can do 180 minus 60 because we are doing it like from the outside kind of, and there's 60 degrees on the interior angles of an equilateral triangle, so we can just run this and you can see it's made us a nice little triangle, but that triangle is not filled in. So you fill it in, fill in a nice triangle, we can say this, my turtle dot begin, underscore fill, and if you want to change the If you want to change the colour we fill in, we can say my turtle dot fill colour. and these are the same colours as in the pen colour. So if I just want some nice red in there, put in quotes. And then once we get here, we can say turtle dot my turtle dot end fill. And so what this will do is it will start filling. So it will say, yeah, I'm starting to fill. And what I mean by fill is just like filling in all the bits in a closed shape. So you begin filling, set the fill colour to red, draw a nice triangle, and end the fill. Save that, yeah. So what this does, as you can see, is make us a triangle and then fill in red. And so that's quite useful if you want to, fill in shapes. There's one more thing you need to know. I'm not even sure if you really need to know it, but basically you can do this. Let's just clear all this. I can say turtle dot circle, which, if you haven't guessed, makes it a circle. So the first argument is the radius, if you want a radius of 100. And I'll tell you about the second argument in a second, but just know it isn't required. So if you just want a circle that's got a radius of 100, just circle 100, and it will just draw you a circle there. So yeah, that's how you draw a circle. Obviously this works with the fill thing before. But here's the other option. There is a second argument called extent. So this is effectively, if you want a semicircle or something, you can say 180, and it will just do half of it, right? Or even 90, and it will do a quarter. And if you want to have it like lines there, you'll have to do that yourself. But that's how you draw a circle or a segment of a circle. And so there's literally one last thing you need to know. I don't think you even need to know this because it will be unlikely you ever use this. But if you say turtle dot done, not my turtle, just turtle this time, like when you were doing the modes and stuff, what this does is, in some environments where you can run Python, and usually like the terminal or something, it will immediately close after it's finished running all of your code, which will mean you won't be able to see your beautiful drawing you've just drawn, right? So this turtle.done will hold it open after it's finished. Obviously I haven't got anything running, and so you don't need this in idle, which is the Python thing you're using if you're not aware, because that doesn't automatically close Python turtle windows once it's finished. But just have this in mind, you'll never really need to use this. Also, alternatively, you can say this, which also leaves it on like a thing, and then there's an input here, and you click it to finish the program. But you don't ever need to use that, but just know turtle.done, and that gets rid of it. So do know there's quite a lot in this video. There's quite a lot of turtle. Everything I've said is in the Python cheat sheet, I think I call it, in the description. Click on the link, look at the PDF, download it, whatever. That has everything about turtle for you there. To be honest, I've been reading off that as I do this video. So yeah, just to summarise, you get the turtle by importing it. You can set the screen size of turtle screen. You can change the turtle mode from logo to standard. Logo is orientated differently. You make a screen. Yeah, like I said, make a screen. You can do screen not setup and set how big it is. Turtle screen size to change the canvas size of it. And so you initialize a turtle, we're saying turtle dot turtle, or like my turtle 2.2. And then on this turtle, you have various things. You have turtle.back, moves you backwards, turtle.forward, moves you forwards, and that forward and back are relative to where you're pointing, where you're facing. Turtle.hide turtle and show turtle. Hide and show the actual drawing bit of the turtle, not the lines behind it. Turtle.left, turtle.right, that turns it either left or right, depending on how many degrees you put in. Turtle.speed is how fast the turtle moves. Turtle.home teleports the turtle to the center of the screen 0, 0, which is quote unquote home. Turtle.reset clears everything, puts it back at the beginning, sets all of the turtle things like rotation and everything back to normal. Turtle.set heading, all lowercase for that one. You can put in where the turtle is facing, like the direction, and that's not relative to where the turtle is currently facing, like left and right are. That's just a hard value of where it should be pointing. Turtle.set position, put an X and Y value, and it will just go there. For filling, there's turtle.begin fill, turtle.fill color. Oh yeah, so turtle.begin fill just starts filling. Turtle.fill color, change the color that it's going to fill in the shape. Turtle.end fill, finish filling, like do the filling bit. You can change the pen color of the turtle, which is actually the lines, not the fill bit, by just turtle.pen color, the American spelling, unfortunately. And then a color, which can be a word or a hex value or whatever. And say turtle.pen up to stop drawing lines, but still move the turtle around. Turtle.pen down to start drawing lines again. Turtle.pen size to change how big the lines you're drawing are. Turtle.circle to draw a circle which has the radius you put in and optionally the extent, which is the number of degrees of a circle is. So 180 would be semicircle, 90 would be quarter, so on and so forth. And finally, turtle.done, which prevents the turtle window from closing in terminal or whatever environments that automatically close the turtle window after it's finished. So yeah, that's about the end of the video. Now I would like to say a couple of things about turtle. Personally, not a big fan. Obviously you need to know it for your GCSEs. Quite a lot of the commands are pretty self-explanatory. It shouldn't be too hard to learn. Basically, just like if you say forward, you move forward. If you say left, you move left. Blah blah blah. Right? But just as a graphics library in general, not massive fan. I feel like there's better ways of doing it. It's not terrible. It's fairly easy to learn. So if I was actually doing some proper coding with graphics, I would not choose Python Turtle. Because even within Python, there are better graphics libraries that they don't teach you at GCSE. So just make sure you learn this is important. And if you don't know it, you're not going to be able to work it out really. Or maybe you will, they're pretty self-explanatory. But just remember. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Insert joke about turtles here. Goodbye.